Good afternoon, viewers. I just stumbled across some footage that was lost, and rather than just put the collection together again to show what's happening at the pond here, I realized as I watched it, I rely on a certain set of baits and a certain rigging that I'm thinking maybe I want to share with everybody to help your catch rates. So what this is a series of small jigs. I'm using 64th ounce jig heads with Bobby Garland 80-bit swimmers. You know, for size comparison here, these are very small jigs. But I think the key to this is how they're being presented, in that it's a double rig. It's two jigs, you know, hung roughly, if you look at them here, I'm out here, you know, we probably have a 20-inch gap between them or not, and they're tied with a knot. I don't like a lot of hardware between my handle on my rod and the lure, because it softens the sensitivity. So if I can keep line to line like that, I can do that. Now how this is tied, let me clip this off, I'll show you how this is tied. My favorite lines are Berkeley Nanofill as a main line, and then I use a fluorocarbon as a leader. Now when I tie a leader on, I usually put a pretty long leader on, because if I do tear off, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room that I can re-rig stuff without having to retie my main leader on. And the connection is simply a double uni knot for leader to line connection. And that knot's small enough that even with that long trim, that'll slide right through the guides and right onto the reel. It won't be an issue at all. So to tie this, what I'll do here is I'll come up from the end of my leader, which you probably can't see because it's only 2-pound test line, but I'll come up maybe 20 inches or so, and I'll make a loop. So I'll make a loop, and I'll go through there 5 times. This is ideally the start of a uni knot. Okay, and then I'll pull that down so it's relatively small. You can see that there. Now this is where it's key. Now my leader line is 2 pounds, so I will take a test that's one size up. In this case, I'm going to go to 4 pound. I'm going to pull a section of this off, roughly maybe, I don't know, 18-20 inches. Cut that off. And then to stop this from tangling on itself, you have that larger diameter line, which is a help. And I lost my knot. And here's my knot. Now I lost my leader that I cut. Down here it is. So I'm going to take that piece that I cut, and I'm going to go through the top of it. I'm not going to come through the bottom up. I'm going to come through the top of this original loop. I'm going to come down and I'm going to do the same thing below that loop. I'm going to do another uni knot, which is simply a loop around both lines, and again 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to pull that down. I do make my stuff wet there. I pull it down. And when you pull these down, you're only pulling the tag in. So you got one there, and then you can pull this other one down. Again, you're going to take them, and then you're going to pull them until they come together. just like a double duty knot, but you have 3 lines coming off instead of just 2. So now I have this knot. I'm going down to one end of my line here. I'm going down a short piece here, and then the other one has a long dropper as well, which goes to my main line. So I'm going to take this short piece here, and I'm going to cut that. So again, coming off my main line, I come to my knot, and then I have 2 lines coming off of that. One will be shorter than the other. And then from there you just tie your jigs on. Loop knot, polymer knot, it really doesn't matter what you tie, what knot you use, it's entirely up to you. So let me do that here quick and then I'll get back to it. So now I've tied my jigs on, and what you have there now is I have 2 jigs, you know, that are hanging apart from each other, and when you cast, there's no, I mean, those things can go around, go around, go around. If you can see that knot right there, that line does not wrap at all. You know, it stays completely loose. So when it hits the water, these things, you know, they can be this far apart, falling through the water at different rates, and then when you swim, they'll get in front and behind each other. So I hope this helps. Let's see what these lost tapes show us, and how this is applied, how this rig and these jigs are applied. What I just hooked, but it took off like a wild man. Oh. Big old female bluegill. Well, that's a nice female there. No. Eight and a half inch female. And it's going to be a pattern. 12-inch fish, or 12-ounce fish. 3/4 pound fish all day long. Off like a rocket. So all I'm doing tonight, as I'm fishing this swim bait, I go to each opening. Each opening that I can fish, I'll come up to each opening and fan cast to this swim bait first to see what we can do for bass or large crappie. Then I'll pick up my little double jig rig, fish the same area the same way for panfish. And we catch a fish or two, I'll just keep moving on. This was a long distance hit. I'm not exactly sure what I got. It's long and skinny, so it's either a largemouth or it's a crappie. And that looks like a crappie. Crappie on a swim bait. baby. This is a little one here. I like little ones. Little ones are important to the pond. Little female again. Little female. Crappie, 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 crappie. Let me guess. 11 inches. That one's gonna just make 11 inches. Cookie cutter crappies. There he goes. Haven't seen it yet. Oh, big bluegill. Another bowl. Boy, that's a pretty fish here. And a heavy fish. Oh. That is one beautiful fish. They say they were thumb size. Definitely thumb size. Gonna have to weigh this one. This fish feels very heavy. And this is a 9-inch class fish. Again, very calm fish. I am not getting a good reading on this. This one will go 13 ounces. Beautiful, beautiful bluegills. Wow, off he goes. I'm gonna do something here based solely off what I noticed when I was fishing up here a few moments ago with that larger swim bait. I had a lot of bluegill actually following along the face of the deck here. So I'm just going to take guess, throw this up right along there and swim it right along the face of the deck. Oh, there is one. That didn't take long. That didn't take long at all. Oh, crapazoid. And he swallowed it. I'm gonna have to walk this guy around here. Using 2-pound test line, you really can't take chances trying to lift fish. Because it can and will break. And this crappie's got a stomach on him. If you look in there, right in the top of his mouth, which is right where it's supposed to be, but he's got something. I don't know if you can see that in his stomach there or not. A little bulge right there. Well, I may have to go get my pliers. Because it's just down there far enough. I can't. Yep. The risk of hurting a fish, I'll go get my pliers. Oh, I lost him. Is that not a beautiful sight? Whoops. He was posing in the net. My gosh, that's a big fish. Way down in there. Right out. I thought I saw. Must just have been something loose. Can't quite. Okay, so this fish will go 9 inches. And I'm going to say 12 ounces probably, knowing the pond. 12-ounce fish. And away he goes.